We are full of concepts and we think we're living, but we're really conceptualizing.
Sea change when you go from being in your mind to being in your heart.
And the Course of Love was about discovering our true identity.
Welcome everyone to our show today, Heart to Heart, how our Course of Love is changing our life. And I'm your host today, Lynn Kidd. So I would like to welcome our guest for today, Jacques Tétrault. And Jacques is originally from Quebec, Canada, but he is now in Spain. So yeah, Jacques, I think we could maybe get started and have you give us a little bit of a personal journey before you came into a Course of Love.
I was born in 1943 in a small city called Trois-Rivières in Quebec, and from a very middle-class family. My parents were not following the Christian church. I never saw me parents in church. But when I was 5 years old, I got what I would call revelation, that there was another me that was the unlimited me that would take care of me for all my life, that would supervise my life and help me out. And therefore, I never felt any fear or any danger, because I knew the other me was there to look after me. And a year after, I was put in this school with the nuns, and I heard of God and of the scriptures and sin and all this stuff. But it was fine because I was well with these sisters, and I just loved the way they care for us. And when I was about 15 or 16, I just decided that this whole thing of the Catholic Church, the hell and all that, I was just out of it. And I just left it all aside. And for about 15 years, I was completely out of the religious or spiritual game. And one day when I was 29, I said to my wife, call at the office. I was a fairly senior manager in an advertising agency. And I said, call them, and I'm not going in. And please don't call me at home. I want to be alone all day and just be and calm. And I was listening to a television program, and I heard people speak about esotericism, life outside of the body and all that. And I said, what the hell is this? I never heard anything before. And the next day I started looking for books, but there were so many strange books that I didn't trust myself. And the following weekend, a friend of mine introduced me to the Urantia book. And I spent 25 years reading, putting groups together. I was Mr. Urantia in Quebec for a number of years. In the last 5 years, I was saying to myself, I need something more personal, more intimate than just information. Mm-hmm. And I started looking for other means of contacting directly with God. And I was gifted a book named Dialogue avec l'Ange. I think it was a dialogue con our angels. And I ended up with A Course in Miracles. 10 years reading, 10 years doing the exercises every day, very precisely, every 20 seconds if needed. I called it the Course of Forgiveness.
Course of Forgiveness,
Reading,
that's a good way to put it.
You had an ego, and you're being informed that you're not that ego, and you just have to forgive yourself for having created that artificial thing. And from then I went to Way of Mastery 4 years, and they discovered the Course of Love about 7 or 8 years ago. And this was the 3 years reading. I called Marie Perron and I asked her if I could translate it in French.
Oh, okay.
And I did the translation with a friend of mine called Maryse, and we did about 80% of the translation. And then I wanted a third person to join us, and that third person didn't fit with the team, and she wrote to Glenn and she said, I want to translate it myself, and I'll go much faster than Jacques and Marie's. Within a year you'll have the book done. And Glenn decided to go with her, and she finished her translation.
Do you want to just say a little bit, how did you discover A Course of Love? Was it through a friend, or what happened about that? Do you remember?
I was often on the internet with the people of A Course in Miracles, and,
Okay.
and at some point I heard about, there's another one called the Course of Love. I searched it. I never bought the book. I never had the book. Mary sent me her PDF copy, and I translated it from that.
Oh, Mari, you
And I
mean
haven't read
Mari
any-
Perron sent you her PDF copy? Is that what you said?
Yes,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
and that's what I used to do the translation with Paris. And I haven't read since the last 3 or 4 years. And we eventually did a Spanish translation between my wife and I.
Okay.
Before the official translation, it was sort of a homemade one for friends of ours. I never published it. It was just sort of personal use.
Yeah. Personal Spanish friends. Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Well, thank you for sharing all that. And that you
Right.
originally were going to do a translation, and you got about 80%. But yeah, for the French version of A Course of Love with Mari's PDF version. That's an interesting story. Thanks for sharing that. This might be the right time that we could have you share a little bit with us about A Course of Love and what it means to you. If you have a powerful line or a powerful passage that's really
Well, to me,
speaking to you.
The Course of Love has 3 main characteristics as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
First, learn who you are.
Okay.
For me, this was the real purpose of this book, as far as I could read it. The second part of it is you are Christ as well as Jesus was Christ. He wasn't the Christ, and you are the second-hand copy. My reading is I'm Christ. I'm a divine Christ. So are you. So are everybody. You just have to be aware of it. And the word that I still click to is you are accomplished.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I
Yeah.
read that, to me, this is the key word that wraps it all. And I know that I'm accomplished, and I'm not trying to be accomplished. I'm just being it.
Okay.
And to me, that was the key door openers for the Course of Love.
Yeah, you are the accomplished. So I think that's repeated quite often in the treatises. Yeah.
Right.
And through other parts as well, but I think it's really emphasized in the second book, which is the treatises. So are you did you want to share any like a personal experience or anything with that? How you're like integrating that with your personal life right now and your daily life?
After the Curse of Love, I stopped reading. I remember one line in the Course of Miracles: stop reading and start living. And I'm not reading any more books. That's it.
Okay.
But I'm listening to many canalizations. I didn't believe in that 5 years ago, but now I do.
Channelings, right? Is that what you're saying? The channeling? Yeah, different channelings. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And many of them are Jesus, directly from Jesus.
Yeah.
And other spiritual guides as well. My process now is listen within and be guided directly from within by the self or the source or the spirit, or whatever one may call it. As far as I'm concerned, this is my higher self, that who I truly am, which is my daily guide.
Yeah.
And I go from there, because that's, to me, that's the purpose of this life, is to experience division, duality, and within this, discover the love that I am and expand or express that love as much as I can in whatever moment I'm at. And this
Okay.
is my purpose now, and I think I'm doing it fairly well.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing all that, Jacques. That was beautiful. And yeah, so it looks like, yeah, we're coming up on our time. So did you have any last minute words of wisdom? Maybe did you want to yeah, offer to anyone like brand new that's just starting A Course of Love, or you know, doesn't know anything about it, but just seeing the video here today?
I just wanted to mention I haven't spoken English for about 2 years, and I
Okay.
speak Spanish all day, and I know it's a bit of the third language is a bit difficult to manage when the
You're doing
original
great.
language is French and English and Spanish at the same time. I would say meditate, listen, do a lot of silence work within, and the voice will guide you.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Be still and know. Yeah, and the inner voice, yeah, that inner dialogue will come alive and will guide you. That's beautiful. That's perfect. Well, thank you so much, Jacques, for joining us today in Spain, and I hope you guys get off of your lockdown soon, as we are all hoping for that as well here in America.
It's only the outside that's locked down. The inside is more open than ever.
Yeah, there you go. Good point. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Yeah, thank you, Jacques. It's really an
Thank
honor
you.
to have you. Thank you so much for joining us today.